So I guess we're really excited about the integration and partnership with Fuel50 and Fuse. We recognise there's a great need for talent platforms like Fuel50, but also recognise that it's almost impossible, I think completely impossible, for one company to do talent management brilliantly and learning platforms brilliantly. So at the same point, there are obviously intersection points between it. The biggest intersection point between these two platforms is in the matching of skills gaps to recommendations. So if you go through as a salesperson and recognize you've got good basic skills but need to go up to intermediate or advanced skills, you want the system to give you recommendations to close those gaps. Historically, that's, I think, been a big problem for companies like Fuel50 to find learning platforms that really maximize the value of their technology. Because most learning platforms, LMSs and LXPs, will simply match a simple link where learning administrators, learning professionals have to link courses and links to each skills gap, which takes time. If you've got hundreds of skills gaps to link, that's a lot of time to manually change. Then if you go and change your content, so let's say you change a library from LinkedIn to Udemy, you've then got to go and change all of that content. If your internal team is creating more content, then you've got to go and change all of those links. So it's a massive overhead for the learning professional, but also the recommendations are rarely up to date and dynamic. So Fuse changes that. So Fuse makes it much more relevant because it's dynamically changing the recommendations based on this massively intelligent index, the knowledge intelligence index that Fuse has. So because Fuse is constantly crawling and understanding all the content, communities, experiences that are relevant towards an organization, it's allowing a variable to be matched to a skills gap. So when a skills gap is looking at Fuse, it's saying, well, I want intermediate sales is my issue, so I can look at courses, learning plans. But if that changes on the other side and the libraries are changing, new content's being put in, it could be the recommendation is different day one to day two because you switched your libraries and your content on day one, day two. The benefit to that is twofold. One is it's a huge reduction on time once the skills gap is set up. Everything else is automated as your content, communities, practice, experience changes. So massive benefit to learning professional. The second benefit is you're obviously going to get better recommendations and more up-to-date recommendations to the learner, which for them, it creates a much better learning experience and the ability to close that gap in a much more accelerated way. So the end result towards this is, I think for the market and for our customers, to bring together the best of the talent management platforms with the best learning experience knowledge platforms. You put those two together, which can be done in a super simple way. So there's no big heavy integrations towards it. There's no big heavy tech integrations. I mean, it's that super simple. And then you've got that full path right from my career pathing, my skills development, all the way through to helping me both develop my skills for the future, but also helping me on my learning for the day.